Hello everyone, this is Maryann here, Revealing Light Tarot, Astrology and Spirituality. Well, we're going to the US today. We're going to first check in on the lawsuit that has been brought by the Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington crew on behalf of 6 Colorado voters. They're Republicans who argue that Trump is disqualified under a certain provision of the 14th Amendment and bars certain office seekers who have engaged or aided and abetted in insurrection. So it's interesting, this case. I've read on this before. It does go all the way to the Supreme Court. I don't get a clear yes or no at this stage. So I want to go back and have a look at Colorado. The suit is being brought by Republicans, which is really interesting. Republicans in Colorado and crew, who is representing those Republicans, and the defendant is the Secretary of State in Colorado, who's in charge of the elections, who's actually a Democrat. Yes, a Democrat. That's the word I'm going to use. Please don't pull me up on whether I should use Democrat or Democratic Party. The Democratic Party themselves on their government website refers to themselves as Democrats. So that's the word I'm using. Okay, so she's a Democrat. The defendant is a Democrat. So it's very, very interesting that Trump's own party is bringing this suit forward. So we'll take a look at Colorado. We also, I don't know why I'm going to do this, but I'm just going to do a left-hand turn, I guess, and go and look at Epstein again. I know that's quite out of the blue, but it's come to me today, and I'm going to look at, will his co-offenders ever be brought to justice? Because we know that Epstein basically ran a literally, I don't know how to say it, wasn't a prostitution racket, but he abused, raped, sexually assaulted, pimped out young girls to the rich and famous. And there's all these rumours circulating. We know that Trump was very close to him at one stage. We know about the allegations around Trump and Epstein. I'm going to go there again. I want to look at the future of the MAGA caucus, because you know that I've read that their actions were likely, the electorate is fed up with the chaos, fed up with the instability that the current version of the Republican Party is causing. So I want to look at whether Trump is behind McCarthy's or the MAGA caucus's bid to get this shutdown of the government. I've already said, I believe, intuitively, that it will shut down for a short while before somehow Biden steps in and the Democrats step in. And I've had a lot of people come forward asking me about, will Putin use chemical weapons in Ukraine? So let's get started on all of those things. The Colorado suit to disqualify Trump from holding any office at all for either engaging in or aiding and abetting an insurrection. It doesn't have to be proved. He doesn't have to be convicted of that. It's the facts will speak for themselves, and there is enough facts out there already to show that either he aided, either he was involved in an insurrection, or he aided and abetted, saying things like he's going to pardon the insurrectionists, saying he loved them, they were good people, not calling in the guards. All those facts all speak for themselves to put down the insurrection. So we'll look at whether or not that case is going to be successful. So let's just center ourselves. I've done a lot of background information for you, so you know what I'm reading on and why and where it's coming from. So let's take a look here. All right, the Colorado lawsuit. What can you show me about this disqualification? There will be many other states that will bring this forward. I have no doubt. People, the Secretary of States who run the elections, they need certainty. Is he qualified or isn't he? The question has to be settled, I think, before December. So this is slated for hearing in October the 30th. Show me what can I see around this. Okay, so I get the sword, the Ace of Swords here. A lot of clarity is needed around this question, and I think we're going to get the clarity. The Ace of Swords is usually a yes card. So will Trump be disqualified will the Colorado court disqualify Trump from holding, from being on the ballot in Colorado for the president as a presidential candidate in 2024? Will Colorado come through, perhaps be the first state to disqualify Trump from being on the ballot in 2024? Complete and utter downfall. The Ten of Swords and the King of Swords, the prosecution. Look, this is, people quote polls and they fear that Trump might get up in 2024. They go and listen to a psychic who says he will. Honestly, I've just got to say bunkum. He is going nowhere. I've seen him in the past just disappear. When I say disappear, he just doesn't appear to be on the ballot in 2024 for whatever reason. I feel it's a woman who comes through, perhaps Nikki Haley. Okay, so now we see the two signifier cards. You see how the prosecutor holds the sword, the sword, the Ace of Swords upright, and the Ten of Swords, the Ace of Swords, the truth, is literally causing the downfall of this man. It's an ending. And we get the Ten of Pentacles here, legacies, family, money. So, the Ten of Pentacles can be dark money. That, of course, has come up in relation to the Supreme Court. If I get time, I'll read again. I've seen Clarence Thomas having to resign in disgrace. And nothing changes my mind. I feel that is coming. Let's keep going. There's the Ace of Swords in the past. Okay, so thank you, Spirit. That's always good validation for me when my clairvoyance lines up with the cards. The other validation I get, some people have asked about to explain the orbs. The orbs are otherworldly energy. They can be anything from light energy in terms of light beings, elemental energy. They can be passed over loved ones. They can be my guides. They can be angelic energy. What do I think my orbs are? I think it's a combination of all. I do get very strongly that passed over loved ones and perhaps even friends that I have been close to actually do come and support me in these readings. I also get a strong pull to angelic energy as well. So often the orbs will show up when I'm reading or saying something, and you can really take it to the bank because that's a validation of what I'm actually saying. So the other validation, of course, is when I see clairvoyantly the cards that are about to come up. This is all about the truth. The truth has already been established in the past. We don't need to re-establish that. Trump was involved either in the insurrection or certainly in aiding and abetting an insurrection. Now we get the Ace of Cups. A lot of new starts is crowning this reading. This question will be settled, I think. The Magician in the near future is manifestation. Again, I think Colorado's going to say he's not qualified. That's where I think this is going. We get the Seven of Pentacles in the here and now, having to rethink, having to go back and get another plan, a plan B. And then we get commitment here, commitment and contracts in the present here. The relationship between Trump and the insurrectionists is going to be put on trial. Everything he said is going to be put on trial. Remember, he's not disavowing them. He is going so far as saying he will pardon them for an insurrection. All of those statements are going to come through in this court case. The hopes and fears, well, the hope for Trump is it goes to the Supreme Court. That's where it's going. For some, that'll be a fear that they might somehow allow him on the ballot. Now we get defending oneself, standing one's ground, and we also get this, there's like a lot of money going to be thrown at this. We've heard a lot from Crew. We haven't heard so much from the other side. Although we have a partial gag order being put on Trump as a result of statements that he's making or has made. And we get wish fulfillment. So, we'll just see. Loss and walking away. Illusion and delusion, smoke screens, and a crossroads. Okay, so we've got 2 yeses and a no here. We get strength underneath the pack, consistency, and quick moving. I'm going to pull a clarifier on the 7. He's having to defend himself. I just get like Trump is like so removed from reality. It's like he's in a gilded cage. The wish fulfillment that we get is that that he is not on the ballot. He certainly has to defend himself. I get a lot of pentacles in this reading around potential funding, campaign funding, perhaps of, oh yes, I know what that is. Thank you, Spirit. The fact that he provided funding for witnesses on the January the 6th congressional inquiry will be brought into the frame. All of this adding up. Did he aid or abet? Okay. My goodness. I'm so glad that this is going to be all raised in a court of law in Colorado. Show me, can you clarify he's having to defend himself in the outcome? So potentially, yes, it's that she's going to find that's a female judge that he is disqualified. Is this the case? Am I reading this correctly? Show me the 7 of Swords. Okay, so we get the 3 of Cups, absolutely, celebrations, and the Ace of Coins again, new starts, and the 5 of Coins. Yeah, a lot is around money. So I'm going to say yes, she will find in favour of him, and some of this is around the funding from Trump's PAC, a lot of the fundraising that he has done, and the funding support of not only witnesses but candidates that support an insurrection as well. We're finally going to hear about why it is so wrong to not to disavow and condemn an insurrection. It's common sense, isn't it? But it's sort of not out there yet, is it? It's a slow arc of moral justice, as Dr. Martin Luther King has said. All right, so I think Crew and the Republicans, I never thought I'd say those 2 words together, are actually going to have a win in Colorado. All right, I'm going to go to Epstein before too much longer. We've got plenty of time to, again, look at whether or not what the Supreme Court is going to do. Okay, Colorado will also be a test case for other states. This is only going to gather momentum, as that Knight of Wands has indicated in the underlying energy. Okay, which is always at the base of the pack, the tarot pack. All right, Epstein. Has or will Ghislaine Maxwell ever give up Epstein's co-offenders such as Trump? Okay, so has or will Ghislaine Maxwell ever give up Epstein's co-offenders? Can you show me clearly? Will she ever hand them over? Will we see who and what is behind or was being involved with Epstein as he trafficked these young girls? Will his co-offenders, Epstein's co-offenders, ever come to light? Will Ghislaine Maxwell ever give them up? I knew there was a reason why I should come and ask this question today. So we get movement forward on illusion, movement forward on smoke screens. Okay, so this night seems to be moving away from that cloud or fog. We get giving and receiving help at the base of the pack, loans and debts. Who was in league with who, and we get the past, which is I'm kind of thinking she might have. Let's keep going. In the sky, she has, she obviously faced a crossroad. She's got a lengthy prison sentence, and we get loss, grief. I mean, that's her energy. Let's keep going. She's currently defending herself. And we get contracts, commitments, loving relationships. That's her and Epstein, really. And she's still currently defending herself. But I get this Eight of Wands in the past. So I'm wondering what evidence they have, and will it ever come out, as I've asked. It's carrying a heavy burden for all sorts of reasons. Let's see the outcome. Well, that's the courts. That's the Hierophant. That's a yes card. The rich and famous. And we get loss and walking away. And I think that's Ghislaine Maxwell. So the Lovers card is at the base of the pack. The Three of Cups, and we get this complete and utter downfall. So with the Hierophant being such an important major arcana representing the courts, and then there's the Nine of Pentacles. If she hasn't done it already, she's paying the ultimate price for these men who were involved in this trafficking. And we get a deal, somehow a deal. I'm not sure. Can they commute her a sentence? We get, what comes after the 10 young people? The Chariot. Are there cases going on that we are not seeing or hearing about at this time? Perhaps a young person or somebody who was young then bringing a case, coming forward with a case. There is the infamous Jane Doe that tied Trump to an alleged rape of her. Let's see if Trump's involved. Why did I go to Jane Doe? Why did I go there? Okay, why am I even going there? Is Trump among these co-offenders? Is Donald Trump among these co-offenders? Okay, so we get the Queen of Cups again. Those of you who've been watching me for a long time, they understand who she might be. And we get Justice. Okay, I'm just going to leave it there. I'm going to say that something is going on around this Epstein-Trump matter. So we get weighing up one's options and really heavy decisions. I think this is even a woman separate, just leaving Ghislaine Maxwell aside. I think this is somebody that was involved. We get circles of support, celebrations. We get loss, something around death as well. We get the King of Swords, the prosecutor, and we get the Page of Wands, speaking one's truth too. I think there's a woman currently speaking or has spoken to the prosecution here. In the hopes and fears, we get somebody getting away with something, and we get the Page of Cups, something coming out of the blue, a surprise, loans. This is, I think, you know what this is, viewers? I think this is the woman that was paid off. I think this is Jane Doe coming forward again. The Sun at the base of the pack, the Queen of the Swords. Who's there in Southern District of New York? Is there a female prosecutor there? New starts. Why? The truth. Okay, this is somebody that was paid off in the past, and she's coming forward again with these secrets. So I don't know what caused me to go here today, but that's where I'm going. I think it's Jane Doe coming back, and I think we may hear something of this in the future. All right, I would hope, because if that doesn't stop him being on, the Republican leader, I don't know what will. That there is a direct tie between Epstein and Trump and human trafficking. And, of course, the alleged rape of minors. All right, this is for entertainment purposes only. Let's move on very quickly, because I do want to get to Ukraine and chemical weapons. Many of you are worried that because Ukraine is pushing forward, because America's going to give them the new missiles with a particular type of warhead, that Putin will retaliate with chemical weapons. But first, is Trump behind the MAGA caucus push to shut down the government? Is Trump behind this because somehow he thinks that it will stop the investigations into him, which it won't? Okay, is Trump behind? Well, he's just sowing chaos anyway. Show me. Is Trump behind the MAGA caucus push to shut down the government? In the US, King of Cups, yeah, the DOJ, the voter, Biden and the voter, yeah, the Democrats. This is also designed to hurt the economy. Can you believe that? So that Biden looks bad. We get a crossroads. We get the Ace of Cups in the future. That's crowning, not in the future, but it's crowning this reading. We get the betrayal. So basically, let's keep going. This can be choosing which ship comes in. This can also be manipulation, juggling things, a higher wire act, restriction, the shutdown itself, in the hopes and fears. This is people working, government workers. And we get the Page of Swords. That's the spy in the camp. That's treachery. And we get the ending of an old cycle, but it's also carrying a huge load. And we get the courts and the Hierophant there as well, the government itself, and the Wheel of Fortune. He is hoping that this will somehow work in his favour. This is what he does. Yes, he is at the base of the pack, the division, partisanship amongst the lawmakers. However, they know that there's no future in shutting the government down. So ultimately, if it does shut down, as I've said in the past, it's not for long, and I do believe the Democrats bail everybody out by supporting McCarthy. Now, the MAGA caucus has said they will get rid of McCarthy if he does that. Well, maybe part of the Democrat deal is to either keep McCarthy there just to keep the government running. Who knows? Would the Democrats support keeping McCarthy there? So I do think it's going to shut down for a little while. You see the diabolical nature of playing with America's economy. Okay, that's where ultimately this is led. All right, so let's take a look. And I just heard playing into Putin's game as well. All right, so let's take a look. Will the Democrats support McCarthy if they try and remove him? Will the Democrats support McCarthy if they try and move him? Just two cards. There's a plan in place, or will be, wish fulfillment, and quickness. These are all yes cards, and moving forward, the Democrats will get back a lot for doing this. It won't take much. It's like when partisanship threatens to destroy, then you get bipartisanship coming into play. And I think the Democrats will get what they want in some way. Okay, so at the end of the day, but I do believe it'll probably shut down for a short while. Okay, let's go. Okay, where are we? I want to see the future. I might just change decks. I want to see the future. So I'm using the Rider-Waite, and I'm now moving to the Kabbalistic Tarot. Show me the future of the MAGA church. I just want to put it like that. Worshipping at the altar of Donald Trump. 91 criminal indictments. An alleged mafia mobster, Russian mafia mobster, whatever. We know he behaves like a mob boss. What is the future of the MAGA caucus in the US House? What is the future of the MAGA caucus in the US House of Congress? Nine of Cups. Okay, so we get wish fulfillment, Jupiter in Pisces, and we get heartbreak, treachery, and loss. And we get, so the astrology of this is really very interesting in these two cards. The Nine of Cups is Jupiter in Pisces, so that's creating some kind of wish. It's like Pisces brings things into form. Jupiter is the great benefic. So it means that something is coming into form. Now, what's crossing that, their wish fulfillment, their whatever it is, grab for fame, grifting, power, aiding of Donald Trump is Three of Swords, Saturn in Libra. So justice is at work here. Against what? It's a betrayal of their oath of office. The Knight of Cups, a deal, something being offered to them. And we get the Queen of Coins in the past. That's stability. That's the economy. We get the Page of Wands. Okay, so in the sky crowning this reading is the Page of Wands. Their power is cut down. And we get the Six of Swords moving out of troubled waters. So clarifying that is the Seven of Coins. Again, Saturn in Taurus. I don't see longevity here of this movement at all. Okay, underneath the pack is the Fool, a new start. And the Six of Wands, Jupiter in Leo, victory, but first the Tower. And in some way, with the Wheel of Fortune here, in some way, this tower, this destructive energy, is like a fire that burns and cleanses and provides that new start. So we get Jupiter being benign in a way, what is being brought into form, and we get Mars, the tower, breaking down the structures. This is all, I'm not reading about, I'm not reading about everyday politicians, nor, the normalcy of, that. I'm reading about the MAGA caucus. Okay, so I don't see, this is not a movement that has longevity. And they are bringing the Tower in. And this is about shaking everybody out of complacency. Okay, so I don't see this is a movement that will last. All right, one last question around chemical weapons in Ukraine. Very clearly, will Putin use chemical weapons in Ukraine? Will Putin use chemical weapons in Ukraine? I'm seeing like a whirlwind. It's like a mini tornado. I don't know why that image is there. And the sun. Okay, will the sun's rays like a flash and then a mini tornado. Okay, so will Putin use chemical weapons in Ukraine? Three of Cups. That's a yes card. Mercury in Cancer. Communications through the air. Feelings. The moon. The Ace of Swords. Three of Cups. The Ace of Swords. The truth. the truth emerging, and the Ace of Coins. I have to say, unfortunately, these are all very strong yes cards. The Five of Coins in the past, that's loss. He feels like he's losing this. The Sun, there's the Sun card crowning this reading. Full illumination again. Is this the terrible thing that he does? That the Two of Cups, Venus in Cancer, commitments, contracts, unity that unites the world, that comes in and puts a stop to this. The Three of Wands, Sun in Aries, planning for an attack. The Three of Coins, Mars in Capricorn, building up to something. What's he building there? The Emperor, control. He wants to retain control, and the outcome is the Ten of Cups. Unfortunately, families, Mars in Pisces, the Knight of Wands, movement forward. He does have something planned. And we get loss, walking away from something, and the King of Wands, bravery, and the Tower coming forward. Yeah, he's got this up his sleeve. I'm afraid from that reading, I feel that he could very well do that as a last-ditch way of fighting back. I don't know what the world will do if he does that. I'll leave that for a later date. I would hope the world would respond with in kind. I know the US has said that they won't tolerate that. I know NATO has said they won't tolerate that. So let's see. He's certainly got something up his sleeve, and from what I'm feeling, sensing, seeing, it could very well be something coming through the air. And that could be chemical weapons. Okay, thank you. Bye for now.